Hey guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate you jumping in for what we do. Of course, we're live Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central Time. And of course, all the time, you can catch all of our original content right there on the website. We appreciate, are grateful for stars that you send, for any donations that you send. And of course, you can share the show, like the show, and give us ideas for the show. If there's guests that you'd like to see, people that we may be missing, let us know. We're all about the news headlines, the politics, society, business, and of course, at the heart of everything we do is cancel culture education. And coming up at 8:30, we're going to talk with Mark Joe. You will not want to miss this interview. He has what I will call a successful coffee shop in St. Louis. While other people running from St. Louis businesses, he ran to it, started up a business shop. It's a very successful shop. Then he decides to make a post about traditional values, and he says the transgender community attacked him for it. You'll see the post. You're going to hear from him. He'll join us live. We'll tell you all about how you can support Omen Coffee, and I think he'll blow you away. Can't wait for that interview. Coming up at 9, our friend Kurtis Barks going to join us to talk a little bit about Complete Auto Body and Repair. They have 6 locations across the St. Louis area. It's the best place to work if you're a technician. Climate-controlled facilities. You're not going to find it anywhere else. They pay a lot of money to do that. They need technicians. You're not going to be paid better anywhere as well. You can contact CompleteAB.com, CompleteAB.com. If you know somebody who's a technician as well, let them know all about that. We've also got Tabitha putting a lot of effort and time into the Wagner Group. You probably have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, but they are so important when it comes to the cog in the wheel, when it comes to BRICS. That's right. We try to be one step ahead of everybody else around here, and it takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of time. That's what Tabitha does so well. She's going to talk about that. We've got major issues in Sudan with Americans we're going to get into, and to top it all off, Anheuser-Busch, just put it this way, they fired the former female. She took a, quote, leave of absence, but they replaced her just like that with 2 execs. AB says, we're tired of losing billions of dollars. We're going to get stuff straight. They're getting back on the right track. I can't wait to see what happens there. All right, before we get into everything, I'm Vic Faust, Tabitha Hassel. Eric Johnson's on his way in. We got rid of Scotty Gherkin, yeah, but he's still here. He's still here. And, of course, Pro Joe on the boards today. We're going to give you a look at our advertisers, our partners, and we'll come back with the show. Don't go anywhere. Share the show. Please like it and subscribe to all of our platforms. Back in 2 minutes.
And now it's here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collections. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting you to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a typical gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Kathy Obig Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Vic Faust with Tab of the Hassle. Eric Johnson on his way in. Lizzie Sparks taking care of our chat line. We're working on our other laptop to get her in. I got the laptop here. Now we got to get the cords to everything. So we'll get Lizzie in here. We'll get her back in the studio for when she can do that. She said she took her car to complete auto body repair yesterday. She says she was, quote, very pleased. That's CompleteAB.com. CompleteAB.com. All right, guys, it is Monday. It is April 24th. We're ready to get started. But before we do, we had a long weekend. I had a long Friday night. I had a long Friday.
You did.
I had to sleep all day Saturday. I got sick as a dog on Saturday. Then, I had a long day yesterday.
What did you do yesterday?
Oh, same thing.
Or should I not ask?
The same thing I did Friday.
It's your birthday month. That's okay. You're excused away from it.
I drank with friends again.
Good
yesterday.
for you.
Anyway, it was fun. By the way, and I just saw a name, Gordon. Gordon brought to the party Friday night. We'll show you some pics in a second. He brought me some pecan praline whiskey.
That I've tried that before. That is some good stuff.
It is like the best stuff I've ever had.
And soon it will be in our Carroll House Lounge, I hope.
How dare you? Hey, guys, thanks for jumping into the show. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. We told you everything we have coming up. You will not want to miss Mark Joe. It's about what we do here, cancel culture education, coffee owner. It'll be a chance for you guys to support him as well once you hear his story. Todd said, too much Miller Lite, Vic. Well, yeah. Hey, special thanks to Wenty's, by the way, in the Chesterfield Valley for hosting a birthday party celebration Friday night that I had. And as a matter of fact, we had some pictures somehow, some way, Tabitha. We're going to pop those up. Joe will give us a few seconds with each picture. That's Pro Joe. He's trying to take care of those things. He's going to pop those up. Just let me know, Joe, when you pop up some of the pictures, and I'll explain. I was there at least 6.5 hours Friday night. Mm-hmm. I was grateful. So many people showed up. Some people couldn't get there. We all know how those parties can be. So we do that. Hey, Joe, do you need Tabitha to show the pictures? Oh yeah. Okay. Scotty's going to go in there and help him out in just a second. Scotty, you've been summoned by your student. And it was great to see everybody there. Long night.
Really good turnout.
Somehow, some way, you and I did not take a picture together.
I was tired and hiding in the back corner because on Fridays I have worked 5 20-hour days, and by then there's no energy left.
5 20-hour days. But here are some pictures from the night. As we do, that was Megan putting on the party. Thank you so much, Megan, for putting on the party.
She did a fantastic job.
Wenty's, by the way, you guys did a massively incredible job. The staff did very well. And you can move through the pictures, Joe, from the night. And, there were some listeners showed up. We were glad to see them. I know Cindy showed up. Just a terrific support of people that came through. It was good. Oh, there's Eric Johnson, and our man, Ty Dennis showed up from Clippers and Cops. It was good to see him as well. We had, and Dr. Mahesh Bagway, one of our advertisers on the show too. So great to see people who continue to come out. The other thing that we had that night, as we continue to show you all those pictures, is just a lot of people talking about cancel this. And great. And there's Pete Ferretti, owner at Circle 7, another amazing place. in the St. Louis area. Pete has 2 spots. He's coming up on his, I think it's his 10 or 5-year anniversary already of his De Pere location.
Pete and his wife are such wonderful people. I'm
Pete
so
and
glad
Tanya. Oh yeah,
we had the opportunity to talk to them.
It's one of my favorite places too.
Yeah,
we go there.
I love Circle 7.
My kids and I go there quite a bit. I spent like 3-4 days there watching the NCAA basketball tournament.
I think they still have corn fritters.
Yeah, they do. They're one of my favorites.
Mine too.
As you see, we just had a lot. Steve and Kathy Helbig Strick. They were there for a while. It was great.
I got to catch up with them.
To see them as well. The other thing is we show you the pictures too. They have an amazing patio at Wendy's.
I love Wendy's.
They have that tent and
love it.
The sides, because it was windy, it got a little chilly, so
Yeah.
we had the sides down. And then when you pull the sides down, Glenn Thompson, a listener, a good friend of mine, he and his wife
Glenn.
Joe, they had showed up
Wonderful
as well.
People.
Good friend Todd Press, the singer, his wife Yelena there as well. So basically, it was great catching up with people, talking and sharing about what Cancel the Show is all about too. Most people have an idea already of what's going on.
Now we need to get all of your friends to actually listen to the show.
Oh yeah, I told them, I was like, you have to like, you have to subscribe.
We have
share.
to get them. We have to bombard them with our show information.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying. It's one of those things. People are still learning. There's Scotty and our friend Bobby Taylor as well. We'll tell you a story about what Scotty's doing in just a second to help Bobby. He beat cancer once already.
Oh, I had no idea.
He's one of the toughest dudes around, one of the greatest guys that you're going to meet. We'll see if Scotty's trying to help him with his business as well.
Oh, I love to hear that.
Business as well. So we'll try to get Scotty on here so he can talk about what he's doing. Scotty, we can leave that picture up and then tell us what you're doing with your company to help Bobby.
So Bobby wanted to do the RSO treatment, which is called the Rick Simpson oil. It's a cannabis treatment that has been known to kill cancer cells. And it's quite an expensive treatment because it takes a pound of cannabis to basically do a chemical cleanse, a wash, like an alcohol wash of all the oils. And then you burn the alcohol off. And then that oil, like it's a pea-sized drop, and you do it like 3 times a day. It's highly potent, but has been known to kill cancer cells and has worked on many people. So
many people.
I imagine that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, we were looking it up, and it looked like it was going to be about $4,200 for the whole process.
And let me guess, are you doing this for free?
Yes, we are.
Of course, Scotty Gherkin. You know what? Good things happen to good people, and that's why so many good things are happening.
And Topher from Diamond Music Hall.
Yeah.
And then we had a buddy of ours who's a cultivator and has patients and stuff, and actually donated a pound of cannabis to be able to get the material that we needed to make the treatment for him. It's just all around really cool.
Is it an oil that you're making?
Yes, it's an oil. It comes in a syringe, and it's like a pea-sized drop that you put like on a cracker and eat it. And then they're also doing a big benefit at Diamond Music Hall. I believe it's May 21st for Bobby for his treatments and stuff.
Yeah, we'll keep it posted.
We will have to keep that.
Bobby and his wife.
He's such a great guy.
Yeah.
I only got to talk to him for like a second as I was leaving.
Bobby's in the middle there.
Nice.
He is second from left to right between Eric and myself.
I have high hopes for him. He's in great shape. I mean, you know what I mean? Like he
could do calendars right now, man. Guy has an 8-pack.
It's insane how cut he is.
Out all over the place.
He seemed very nice.
We'll continue to show you some of the pictures as well from the night. So again, we're just grateful for everybody that had a chance to come out.
It's
a good group of people.
It was such a good group of people.
Joe, you can continue to show the pictures, buddy. When you
have such a good group of friends who are so dedicated to you.
Emily Swift-Barracks. She owns, that's Kurtis's wife. She owns a very successful State Farm agency in the St. Charles County area as well. So it was great to talk to people. And then they said, yes, they'll try to listen as you and I were talking about. You can continue on, Joe, as we go through, buddy. Just a fun night.
Marla and Ben Kahn, the owners of Wendy's, are the nicest.
There's Scotty Kevin in the background there. Kevin Malutnik.
See, look, there's me. You can kind of see.
Oh, Tabitha is in a picture.
I'm kind of back. You and I did take a picture. I don't know where it is or what it was, but I'm glad it's not on here.
As we continue to roll through the picture, Scotty, what's the name of the treatment again to help go against cancer? And
RSO. It's Rick Simpson oil, and they have a recipe on the site.
Continue, Joe, to show the pictures. RSO.
Yep. And they have a recipe on the site. If you look up Rick Simpson oil, you can find all
Lizzie Sparks and her husband David. There they are, as well as Goody. And we're going to get
also
Lizzie back in studio once we get our laptop up and running. We'll keep you posted on that as well. Just a whole lot of fun, as we talked about. The other thing too, and there's Ben. That's Ben Kahn.
Ben is the
Ben.
best.
Yeah, Ben is on the right there. Thanks again, Ben. And it's ironic too, because I love Ben, and I hope he doesn't get upset with me for saying this, but he's been a massive part of getting the show underway with the business plan. And we joke about it because he says, you know what? You have to get a liberal Jewish man to help get you go, help get a conservative show.
I'm not sure how liberal he is. I'm not sure how liberal.
Well, he's not conservative. I can tell you that much.
He may not be conservative, but you know what he does? He has common sense.
No, he does.
And when it comes to common sense, it doesn't matter if you're a liberal or a conservative. Common sense will always rule.
There's your friend Shelley Cope.
Oh, I love Shelley.
So Ben, special shout out. And that's why we're taking time on the podcast today.
Marla.
And that's Marla as well. Just great people in the St. Louis. They're New Yorkers.
Really good people.
They're New Yorkers who came to St. Louis. And there's Ashley Milan. We'll have some more with her. She was the first person to actually rent this studio.
So sweet. Ashley is
so you'll see
sweet.
some more from Ashley coming up. And Lizzie's trying to help get her going with some things as well. But the reason we want to do that too, these people all support Cancel This and cancelthisshow.com. Right. And so we're grateful for everybody that showed up. And it was just an amazing night as we continue to show you a few more pictures there that we had from the night. So anyway, that's Bobby and his wife, Jamie. Eric's in there. I'm in there. Marla and Scotty. Scotty's little head you see there in the back middle. In that little head? Yeah. For the first time you've been told you have a little pea head right there in the picture. But those are the kind of nights that take that journey. I think this is the last one. Great to see my friend
Al James.
Al James with Pixie Dust Seasoning. You can go to our website, cancelthisshow.com. That's Al on the far left, who I've got my hand on. Al is just a terrific entrepreneur. You can go to our website and purchase his Pixie Dust. You've seen other people in the pictures. My friend Ade got back into town on the far right. People say, damn, is he an NFL player? I was like, no.
He was a big guy.
He said, Vic, he's a genius. He said, I had no coordination, no hands. He said, the coaches saw me. They're like, look at me. I'm a big black guy that's fast. And he's like, I could not play the American game of football. So anyway, just a terrific, terrific night through there. So Joe, thank you for going through those pictures, and everybody, thank you for coming out and dealing with us as we showed you all those pictures. And somehow, some way, Tabitha and I did not take a picture.
I think we did.
I think Eric's still recovering.
Eric may never be seen again. Who knows what happened to him?
So anyway, yeah, thank you. Vic looks so young. I'll say it because I'm having to get used to this number. Yeah, I'm 50. Okay. I'm 50. I'm dealing with it. Thank you. I'm trying to age gracefully. Thank you to Tasha Freund at Aesthetic Med Spa in the Lake St. Louis area. Yeah, she's helped me out a little bit. We all need a little help, Vic. I've never been afraid to say that. That's for sure. Although I did have several people say, hey, how about that gray hair, man? I didn't think my hair was that gray, but it's coming. It is. I know.
You look good, though.
It's coming.
I didn't notice that.
Coming.
I thought it was blonde.
Stop fishing for compliments.
Go ahead. Come on. I'll take an Eric line.
Eric Johnson.
Eric's always like, come on. Yeah, tell me more about it. Tell me all about it. Yes, 50 is the new 30. That's what I'm going to go with. Eric, thanks for showing up the other night, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thanks for. There are some parties that you get invited to. You're like, man, how am I going to make an excuse to watch MASH tonight? Not going to the party. That was not one of those parties. That was a who's who of who's who. And the reason Tabitha's not on camera is because she loses her reflection after the sun goes down.
Funny. I was sleeping at the table in the corner.
I'm teasing.
Tabitha
was just socializing like a bitch.
Me? No, I was just sitting at a table. I was so tired. I couldn't even function. I mean, have you ever been that tired where you're just so tired?
Then why you show up?
Can't even function.
Then why show up?
Because I want to show up and support Vic and support Wenties.
Get a second win.
I wanted to see everyone.
Get yourself a nice Miller Lite.
I had to get up and work at 7 a.m.
You did? Don't make excuses.
I drank some nice unsweetened tea.
It was fantastic.
Took a little nap.
That was a lot of fun. I hate it. I had so much fun. I'm literally like the last guy leaving. I'm like, I'm going to be the first. I'm going to be the last guy here. I'm going to be the first one out. And I pretty much closed the place down. I think I left just right before you did.
Yeah, I think you did.
But good for you. That was
That's
fun.
when you know it's a good time, by the way.
But I also
That's
want
when you know it's a good time.
and it's all about this for local businesses as well. I was talking about Circle 7 and Pete Ferretti.
Yes.
Pete's the best.
And check it out if you haven't. It's just they're two fantastic restaurants. But Wenty's the other night had I think it was the second all-time grossing money too. And so when you pack all those people in, sometimes you have to wait to get a drink. So they came within, I believe, $2,000 of their highest grossing night ever.
With great success comes great responsibility. If you know there's going to be that many people there, go get yourself a big old, when you go to a bar and they have that tub, tub of beer,
I think
and you
they do that
you have more
sometimes.
servers and you have more access to the bar because you're just going to frustrate people. I was talking to them. I said, this is eerily becoming the new Harry's of West County. If you know anything about St. Louis, you know what I'm talking. Am I lying?
Well, they're open late.
Yeah.
They're it's a good place for people from, it's a middle point, a lot of Wildwood, Chesterfield.
And with that new
always a good group there.
That new studio that's opening up across the street.
Gateway
My
Street.
God.
Yeah.
Eric,
they're going to need a new venue.
let's just not talk about it anymore because I want it to be our own little secret.
No, it's not going to. That's never going to happen. Sorry, it's growing.
I absolutely love Wenty's. As a matter of fact, since I very rarely go out these days, it's about the only place I go.
Also, I just wanted to give a shout out to Trisha Yedke. You guys will see her name on our follow list. I ran into Trisha at Top Golf yesterday.
Oh, did you really?
Her and her family were out. I'm walking by and they're like, Vic. And I'm like, so I turn around and sure enough, so I had a chance to meet Trisha.
Good.
At one point, she gave us a donation at one point in time too.
She did.
To try to help the show. We were grateful for that.
Donation.
So thank you. It was great to meet Trisha.
Her and her husband have been so supportive of us, of the show. They came out to our night when our kickoff party. And they also own a business here in St. Louis.
Something you guys were talking about earlier before we get to the real news.
Yeah, coming up in about 5 minutes, we're going to talk with Mark Joe. The transgender community is trying to cancel his coffee shop while he is a successful businessman, wants to stay in downtown St. Louis on Washington.
He's an idiot.
No, they're trying to cancel him.
Well, that's fine. Come on out here, St. Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Come on out here.
You can tell him.
I will.
We're going to talk to him about 5
I will.
minutes.
I am going to make a fortune, by the way, before I get to my other point. I'm going to become a business consultant, how to cancel the cancelers. And I'm going to charge $5,000 an hour and people will pay me because I know what I'm talking about. First step, find a place.
What show is that on?
That's going to be on my own show.
I'm just kidding.
But I think we need to do an entire show. Fascinating topic you guys brought up. An entire show of how to beat cancer without going to SSM or to Barnes Jewish.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you what, there are parts of this world that do not stick toxic chemicals in your vein to kill cancer. And they're doing a pretty darn good job of doing that using natural remedies such as this RSO stuff that Scotty was talking about. Holy crap.
What about the I word? What about carrots? There are people who have cured their cancer, even in stage 4 cancer, by juicing several pounds of carrots a day. People use the I word to cure certain types of cancer.
I don't know what I'm talking about. All I know is the videos I watch and some of the sources that I'm seeing and how some of the things that they're doing are targeting specific types of cancer, not just general cancers.
A lot of people believe that it's a parasite and not actually, there's a lot of people who think different things, but a lot of people believe, as a matter of fact, I was just reading over the weekend that multiple sclerosis is now, some scientists believe, actually a parasitic infestation and not actually a disease. So many things in this world are parasites. We call them illnesses, but they're actually parasites.
And big business isn't going to educate us on it.
And of course they're not.
No, they're not.
Of course they're not.
No.
I was just reading that the I word, they're starting to do trials.
See, there's
potentially getting rid of
the thing about it is
sclerosis.
this, and this is where I want to go, and I don't want to get suicided or nothing like that. But
please don't.
I think there's a deep state that's coming out of the United States. There's a deep state. We're finding out about it little by little.
You're finding out little by little.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Me too.
I think there's a deep state in pharma. I do. And I don't know what that means. Well, I know there is. I get it. I understand that there's money involved.
It's all about money, Eric. everything, you know what? We're going to talk about this later in the show. Everything that makes the world go round, it's all about money.
Yeah.
It's all about
You're
money.
Right.
Well,
Eric,
I mean, I'm glad you brought the point
being
up.
IAP just came to the cancer.
But but what we need to do treatment. Is, you're so right in that we need to have like maybe a non-live show talking about exactly this, because look at all the people who've been cured with cannabis.
Yeah, but you got to vet these people too, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Yes. Okay, if I know that Scott, you guys know stuff that I don't know, but you got to, the people who are skeptical like myself, we have the right to vet the stories that we listen to.
Of course,
you understand.
And it won't be hard to vet. There's a guy in Granite City, well known all across really the country, maybe the world, who had stage 4 lung cancer.
Yeah.
And started using cannabis oil and completely cured himself.
Wow.
There are people who've juiced carrots.
Yeah.
There are people who've used the I word. There are people out there, if I got cancer, it's hard to say what you would do. I would hope that I wouldn't do chemotherapy, because I think the chemotherapy,
I think you would, because you would be fear. You would be afraid.
Yeah.
I think because you got the C word. I think your doctor would say, we have to do this.
And I would tell my doctor, just like I did when it came to the other C word, that no, I know my body better
I don't
than
know
you
about
do.
that. I think people, there are a lot of big talk until it happens.
And you're right. It's hard to say what you would do until it happens.
Yeah.
But I think that I firmly believe that chemotherapy kills
Why don't we
more
do a
people.
Why don't we do a We're going to do a show on it.
I think we need to
start putting the research into that. We're going to do a show on it, because it is. And first of all, Scott, it all came about because Scotty is helping our friend Bobby, who beat cancer once.
Bobby might be a good case study for us. Yeah, we might be able to do our own anecdotal case study and follow Bob and whatever treatments that get prescribed to him via. I mean, I guess you can do them both at the same time, right? You can go to SSM at the same time that you're doing natural treatments.
Well, no, you can't.
You cannot do that.
You don't want to get chemotherapy and try these other things, because the chemotherapy destroys your body. It just destroys your body.
I digress. Don't get killed on my account.
I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving anyone medical advice.
Okay, good.
Well, this is cancelthisshow.com. And a big part of what we do is cancel culture education. Eric Johnson's here, Tab of the Hassle. I'm Vic Faust. Lizzie Sparks taking care of our comment line. And we've got Pro Joe on the engineering board, making sure that we're all up to go. Okay, we want to bring you in. And as we do, we're going to tell you a story. We got a guy, Mark Joe. He owns Omen Coffee in downtown St. Louis on Washington. He's been dealing with a cancel culture situation. We're going to bring, so you can bring him on in, Pro Joe. And we've got Mark. Hey, Mark.
Hey, how you doing, Vic?
Hey, we're doing great. You're on with Tabitha Hassel, Eric Johnson, myself. First of all, tell us about your shop and what happened to you, because what I've said in our introduction to you is you can't miss Mark. While people are running away from St. Louis, you've run to it. You had a successful business, and then you decided to make a post, and then all hell is broke loose.
Yeah. Actually, I made a post. I think before we opened the shop. It was actually months ago, which is kind of a funny piece to this story, because what happened is somebody literally went scrolling through my post looking for something to be upset about, and then they found it, and it's crazy to me how they dig up old things like that. But yeah, I started a business here. We're doing really, really great. It's going well. I started the business here with the intention of just building a community in a space where we could have some human to human interactions, which I think we're really missing in society right now, but also have some really tough and productive conversations. I think we need to be talking more about some things that are going on in society. And right now, the internet has created a situation where everybody's kind of afraid to say the things that are on their heart, because, somebody, a mob might come after them, right. Which that's what happened to me. And so I made a post that essentially it said,
we're going to show the post right too, Mark, as you say this. So,
okay.
Pro Joe, when you can pop up his the Instagram post, and we'll play that, and you can just go ahead and tell people what you said.
Yeah, so essentially it was just my thoughts. I use my Instagram to really just kind of like a public journal, if you will. And I was just thinking about a lot of the things that are happening in society right now that I see happening, that I just that they're kind of alarming to me. Things like people posting themselves nude all over the internet, and having multiple sexual partners and thinking that that's cool. And
Yes.
we're moving away from like modesty and monogamy and marriage even. And then I also said, in a world where homosexuality is more prevalent than it's ever been, and the concept of gender has somehow become debatable,
Yes.
and that's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's why I didn't take the post down. In fact, I pinned it to the top of my profile because,
and we're showing the post as you talk.
Yeah. And so, that's genuinely how I feel. And it's not that I'm transphobic or homophobic and that I hate those people, but I think that those things are a product of a mental illness. I really do. And I believe in God. I don't think that God, makes mistakes. I don't think that he accidentally made you a boy or accidentally made you a girl. And, and it's okay if you disagree with me. And so I had this mob come after me saying that I'm transphobic and that I'm homophobic, and they posted on Twitter, they posted on Reddit, they posted on every platform
show the
trying
Reddit
to get people to stop doing.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah,
we're going to show the Reddit post right now as you're talking. Go ahead.
Cool. So they posted on every platform trying to get people to sort of to boycott our business. And honestly, it had me terrified at first because it's never happened to me. I've worked really hard to get this thing going. But in truth, it actually only helped us. Like truly, like sales went up, website traffic went up, like social media, gained followers. My personal social media gained followers. Like they brought attention to a post in which I was saying things that it turns out a lot of people, at least it resonated with a lot of people. And in retrospect, I just want to make this clear. It's like, I didn't really dig my heels in and stand firm because I need to be right. It's not a right, wrong. It's great. And I do feel the way that I expressed in the post. But the point and the thing that was most alarming is that I should be able to think and feel and believe whatever I think, feel, and believe, without other people feeling entitled to tell me how to think, feel, and believe. Like it really, that's the part that bothers me the most about this, is that, we've gotten to a point where we feel so entitled that we can like police other people's thoughts, and I've had transgenders and homosexuals, and I have all types of people that are a part of my community, and I treat them all the same. So like, as long as I treat people with respect, which I think we all should, then what the fuck does it matter how I feel? Sorry if I'm not allowed to swear on the show.
You're in big trouble now.
You're fine, Mark.
You just can't say COVID. Sorry.
Okay.
I just did that too, didn't I?
Yeah,
that's so funny. Oh man.
Sorry.
Hey,
yeah,
Mark.
so that's what happened with us.
Well, so here you're down on Washington Avenue, right?
Yes, right in Midtown.
Right down in Midtown. Okay, that's cool. You guys you're basically ground zero for like one of the most violent places in the world right now.
100%.
And you know what I mean? And it's I applaud you. We've been talking about this on this show, is how to make St. Louis safe, and you're obviously doing that's a conservative tweet, don't you think? I mean, that's on the conservative side. There's
100%.
You know what I mean?
I just don't like, sometimes I don't. Those labels, they encompass so much, right?
Yeah,
it's like
they do. You're right.
Conservative and liberal. Like if I say that I'm conservative, then somebody automatically assumes, that I'm like pro-life, right? Like irrelevant, irrespective of whether I am or not, right? Like they bundle so many things together. But you're right, that is a very conservative tweet, and I generally.
But I'm on your side. I don't think you're conservative at all. I think you have a run of the mill of different friends.
Mm-hmm.
You live in St. Louis, Missouri, a very liberal part of the world. You're a business owner, so that makes you conservative. You are the gradient that we always talk about in this show. You're not Democrat or Republican. You're in the middle like the rest of us. Your tweet demonstrates that, look, my beliefs are this. I think that if you want a happy life, know your gender, know God, and maybe you will become the fulfilled person that you want to be, and have a great day. And we would invite you to come and have a coffee down here with us. Yeah. I don't understand what the problem is, except for that this is a deliberate, these gangs of people are looking for people like you to go and attack.
Yeah.
My question to you is Here's how you fight it. You get your own gang of people to fight back against them so you don't have to do it yourself. Have you found that you had some help coming with you?
I did have some help. I had I had members of the LGBTQ, community commenting on the posts and getting involved in the Reddit threads. I had, I also, but I made a point to one of the people that was a part of that mob. And it's like, your group, they show their support in likes and comments and fake reviews. You know how my people show support? In dollars, yes. our sales went up, so that's really one big takeaway. And then another thing is I made a decision that I wasn't gonna stoop to that level. I absolutely have a really loyal, sort of following on several different platforms.
Yeah.
And if I say hey, let's go do this, they're gonna do it. But you know what? I'm not going to waste my time or your time. I'm not going to ask you to go, debate in a comment section of a fucking post. If you want to come by, let's talk about it.
Yes.
But the truth is, man, my integrity, I felt like, I said this on a podcast recently, I really felt like this whole thing was a test of my character and my integrity, right? In retrospect, in the moment, I was just alarmed. But in retrospect, I really do feel like it was a great test. And the fact that I kept my resolve, I didn't back down, but I also didn't stoop to their level.
Right.
It feels like a big personal win for me. And like I said, when all was said and done and the dust settled, our sales went up, our following went up, our website traffic went up. So I think that I did it the way that I was supposed to do it.
You did it the way you were supposed to do it, because you know what? We are the majority. The folks on the very far fringe left are the tiniest portion of the minority. And I will tell you what, you have every right to speak your mind, whether people agree with you or not. It is your right, your free will to speak your mind and to feel however you want to feel. And you know what? You're always going to win, because the majority who also supports free speech will always be behind you.
Yes.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, I really love that point. I really love that point. And I do think that's what I'm trying to remind people of that here in my shop. Literally every day we have some of these tough conversations about social issues, about the crime here in St. Louis, about you name it, right? Drag queens reading to kids. We talk about all of that stuff here in my shop every day. And I keep trying to show people that it's actually okay if you don't agree with me, but it's not, but we can still be friends. We can still have this conversation.
They don't want to be friends with you.
That's the biggest point. We've lost the ability to agree to disagree. And I think that the conversation, sometimes just having it for the sake of having it is all you can do. And it's something we should do more.
We're getting asked right now. We're going to have a few more minutes with you. I know people are wanting to know what you think about crime and the prosecutor, but we're going to show Omen Coffee right now. Can you talk about your shop and how people can support you while we have people asking? Because we're going to show your website right now from Omen. And
awesome.
just tell us about your shop and what you get there, and maybe what separates your shop from others.
Well, so our shop is beautiful. First of all, it's if you come down, I went into this really acknowledging that St. Louis has some exceptional coffee roasters. People call these Blueprint, Sump, you name them. We have some really, really good coffee roasters here, but I don't think that we have any exceptional coffee shops.
Amen,
right?
brother.
And so I wanted to build a space, and I really wanted to focus on, creating a space that's inviting, that's roomy, that there's space for people to sit and work for the day or meet with a friend. That you didn't feel like you just had to grab your coffee and get out. So that's the first thing you'd notice when you show up, is our space is really spacious, and it's tons of natural light. It's beautiful. And then, of course, we make great coffee. We roast our own coffee in-house. And the thing that we do is we roast in small batches. So you'll never get a cup of coffee here or buy a bag of coffee from us that wasn't roasted within 7 days of you buying it.
Yes. I'm from Seattle, so I'm a good connoisseur of what your product is.
Nice.
I'm begging you, come to St. Charles. And I'm begging, come.
You know what?
I will make your money for you. I will be there all day. I'll go to each one of them every single day. No, I'm serious. You're absolutely right. Seattle had like a plethora of coffee shops, and I loved them all, but they all taste burnt except for Starbucks, and that's why I think Starbucks succeeded.
Yeah. You know, I've had a lot of people, I'm so stubborn. I've had a lot of people through this process, the far left, be like, you should have opened your coffee shop in St. Charles. And I'm like, fine, I will never go to St. Charles. I'm going to stay right here in St. Louis just because you don't like me, you know?
Well, hold on. That being said, I wish you would come to St. Charles, but I'm almost more happy that you're in St. Louis as a seed planted in the middle of this ridiculous, dilapidated city.
He is the diamond in the rough right now. There is no doubt about it. And who's to say he can't expand and have two businesses, one on Washington, one in St. Charles County.
100%.
The name of the company is Omen Coffee. I'm curious. Hey, Bud, are you from the St. Louis area? Or are you from somewhere else? Because you got a lot going on. I mean, you're well-spoken, you're smart, you're charismatic, and you don't let people run over you.
Well, I really appreciate that. No, the answer is no. I'm originally from upstate New York. And like another fact about me that people might find surprising, but I think it's really relevant given the fact that I get involved in some of these like tougher conversations, is that I actually spent 5.5 years in prison before I did this. From 19 to 25, I was in prison for a drug.
Get to that.
Yep, I was in prison for a drug possession, and I got arrested with an assortment of psychedelic drugs. But like hearing that and hearing like where I come from, you know, poverty, drug addicted parents, et cetera, foster system, you would think that I was far leaning left, you know, or left leaning, but generally speaking, I'm right leaning. And it is my life experience that has led me to, you know, sort of the values that I have right now, and to be intolerant of some of the cultural shifts that are happening right now. Like I feel our freedoms being slowly, you know, sort of eroded. And I know what it looks like because I've lost my freedom before. Like I know what that looks like. It's little things that remind you that you're not free when you're sitting in prison. It's not the barbed wire fence. Like you get used to that. That just becomes, you know, like the sky. Like you don't notice this, you know. So it's not that. It's the little things that remind you that you're not free when you're in prison. And that's what I was saying during COVID. It's like, no, I know that, you know, it would be nice for me to wear a mask, but I'm not going to wear a mask. And for you to tell me that I need to wear a mask, it's reminding me that I'm not free. It's a little thing like telling me that I can't go, you know, work out, or I can't go call my family because it's not time for me to do that. That's exactly what it reminded me of in the middle of the pandemic, you know?
Yeah, and see, I think people like you should be our front line. You know, Vic and I, we're the enemy. We're white guys. We're older.
Yeah.
You know, we're the demonized people. If we make a certain credit score, we can't even get a damn mortgage anymore without paying more for it because
isn't that crazy?
I mean, it's just stupid. I think people like yourself, who have been incarcerated, who are now successful, should be in concert with the millennials, the Gen Zs, the people who understand what's going on. You're the ones that need the voice right now to tell the country, you know, people that might have lived in Cuba that said, I just came from a repressive environment. You're the people that need to step up and say, look, we've had enough of this. The Congressman says A, B, and C, and then me and Vic will just sit back in our yachts and our boats and stuff like that, and we'll just wait for you to save the damn country.
Amen.
Well, when you guys say something, this is why I'm so vocal. Is because when you guys say something, like I don't know either of your stories, but like let's just say you're, you know, the average typical white, you know, whatever that. But so, okay, when you say something, you're racist or you're a bigot or you have privilege, so you don't understand. And I'm like, no. I'm going to come up and be like, no, these guys are fucking right. And I've been, you know, I'm this, that, and the third. And I think that's why I brought it up.
But you know what? The success in society that you'll find because of that, because your voice is so unique, along with an army of other people like you, will make you successful from this point to the rest of your life. I hope so. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I also feel like the opportunity for Gen Z to step up and be a strong conservative voice will make you successful with everything you do. Not that you're not successful now.
That's true. It's a good point, Eric.
You know what I mean? It's
Mark,
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Eric. When you've lost everything, you kind of, I mean, it's great, the success, and like I've built a couple, decently successful businesses now. I've made multiple six figures, at working for another company, and now I'm back to my own business, etc. But like the success is nice, but I truly don't do it for that. Like
wait till you write a book. Wait till you write a book.
Crazy.
Wait till you write a book, do keynote speeches, do a media tour with conservative outlets or whoever. Wait till you become that kind of a voice. Man, I'm telling you what.
Yeah, Tabitha needs to get his story told in Hollywood.
No question about it. And, while we have you, Mark, I want to go back to cancel culture. Obviously, it's part of the reason why we have this show. And you have such an amazing story. And obviously, the background you came from, you've really done such a great job. And you really are the example of that Eric always talks about, that people can grow up in any situation. And if you have the perseverance, you can make anything you want of yourself. And I hope our listeners go out and support your coffee shop, because whether they agree with you or not, you have the right to post what you want and say what you want and have the beliefs that you want. And you know what? We fight back against cancel culture by going out and supporting people who do take advantage of their free speech.
Mm-hmm. That's the only way to really fight back. Like, it's not worth it to sit on the internet and go back and forth with people that, like, you can't please them either way. If you really want to combat cancel culture, I mean, we vote with our dollars every single day.
That's we do. That's
right. See, I think that what I hear about you winning, why you're winning this thing, is that you're not going out there. You're not militant on what you're saying. It's not like you have this club of business owners versus transgender. Exactly. It's like you just said what you said and it was like very passive. It was very cool. And it was like, this is how I feel. Now come get some coffee. That's why I think you're driving them nuts, is that you're not on a war path. It's just like, look, common sense says A, and if you do B.
Well, and it's about the small portion of this country, which is the trans portion. I mean, what is it? 10 people in St. Louis?
No. I get you.
And they're the loudest voices. They're the loudest voices, and they think that they can cancel you and close your shop down.
Yeah, and it's not even the trans thing so much.
No, it's not.
It's not. I think that every single one of us talking in here is on agreement. If a transsexual walked in here, we would have a fun time. We would
no question.
You know what here's where the problem comes in, is when the trans person wants to walk into the girls' locker room with 13-year-olds.
Well, it's about them violating our rights. They want to fight for their rights, but yet want to violate ours.
There you go.
Mark, something that came up in one of my latest episodes of my podcast is like, I think the real problem here is that we can't have the discussion. I think if as a nation, and it's because of cancel culture, but I think if as a nation we were able to just have this conversation without being called transphobic, like, hey, I don't know if I want, a biological male going in the locker room with my daughter. You say that out loud, and now you're transphobic, and so people are afraid to say it. Mm-hmm. And if we were able to just have a discussion, I think, and take a vote. Let's just take a vote. Hey, do we think that we should do this or not? Okay, the vast majority would say, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And we just come up with a different solution. It's not like we would, force the transgenders to go home and shower or whatever, right? We'd come up with a different solution like we always do. But the fact that we can't have the conversation, we can't actually get a general consensus of how does everybody feel about this, and what's the best way to proceed? Mm-hmm. That's really the issue right now, because you're right. It's not, I have no problem with you. Like, I am truly socially liberal. Like, I'm like a live and let live. Like, you can do whatever you want.
Me too.
But as long as it doesn't threaten or impose upon anybody else's ability to do that. And so it's not that anybody is intolerant or transphobic. It's just that, of course, we have some general concerns, some reasonable concerns about what does it mean if we let you live however you want.
And once again, we want to remind everybody, before we try to help sell you, not that you need help, but we want to help. You made a post, and then somebody from your own shop saw it.
Yes.
A transgender person?
No. Just a woman who identifies as a they, them, and in her Instagram profile, it just says, "I'm a socialist." So I knew instantly that we weren't going to be like, she wasn't going to be our best customer. But
has she been back into the shop yet?
No. I invited her down for a conversation.
Hey, But you know what, Mark? We have people that want to help and want to support. The website, is it omencoffee.com?
Oh, no, it's omencoffeeco.com.
omencoffeeco.com. Do you make cups, K-cups for people?
No, we don't make K-cups.
Okay.
It's just tough with the freshness standard we try to maintain.
I get it.
I like
totally
that.
get it with coffee.
Hey, do you sell bags? Can you
Yes,
ship?
we do sell
There you
bags. You can get any of our roast and whole bean or ground options.
As a matter of fact, let me just say this real fast. It's better, everybody, to get bags of you don't ground it up. You ground it up yourself, right, Tabitha? And then put it in your own K-cup.
Yes.
It's better that way.
That is the best.
A
and
1,000,000%
way.
And Mark, somebody made an offer, or not an offer, but they made a suggestion. If you don't already have an acid-free blend, they would buy it from you if you could come up with one.
Got it. Okay, that's good. That's good feedback.
So I guess
I'm a one-man show over here. So merchandise, apparel, roasting, running the shop day to day. I've got a long list of great suggestions, and I mean, trust me, I will implement them. You know, it just takes time.
No, awesome. I totally get it. Hey, anything else you want to let our viewers and listeners know about your story or anything moving forward? Because, hey, how old are you?
I'm 30.
I'm coming down there,
dude. You're an inspiration. Yeah, we'll
make it. Cancel this trip.
I'm gonna fly down there because it's so far from my house. But I'm coming down there.
He's not gonna go Highway 70 though because of all the potholes.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys having me on. And if anybody is interested in hearing more conversations like this, or just getting to know my story more, I do have a podcast. It's called Give More, Be More. We get several tens of thousands of downloads every month. So just give it a listen, start from the beginning, and you guys, you'll hear most of my story over the course of the episodes. But outside of that, just supporting Omen Coffee Co. is enough because, truly this has never been about the coffee for me. It's really, I'm trying to deliver a message along with, creating a culture built around certain values. And I'm just using coffee as the vehicle.
He's right.
If you're supportive of the values that we've been talking about, or the message even that you've heard from me today, understand every bag of Omen coffee, every cup that we sell here is just helping that message and those values spread further and further.
Here's the deal. I knew this little guy in Seattle, and his name was Howard Schultz. I don't know if you know who he was. I knew him. I used to work with him. And
about Howard Schultz.
And he said it was never about the coffee. It was about the experience of when people would come into the shop. That's what made it successful.
I believe that.
That's the path that he's on right now.
I love going to coffee shops. I absolutely love it.
Yep.
Mark, we love you, brother. We'll get you back on. We'll promote you and let people know how they can find you as well.
I'm just Mark Anthony Joe on any platform. It's all one word, Mark with a K, Mark Anthony Joe. And you can find me. I'm most active on Instagram, but I am on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, have a great day. Thanks for taking some time with us, my friend. Continue success.
Thanks a lot. Have a good day, guys.
Nice job.
Right. Mark Joe, Omen Coffee.
My favorite guest so far. My favorite guest so far.
OmenCoffeeCo.com.
Love it.
Well, he epitomizes a lot of things that
he just brings out the evil in Drew Collins. You can feel the evil come out.
Yeah, but once again, that's him.
I know, Drew.
He doesn't want to see a successful African-American conservative who went through the foster system, was raised in tough situations, pulled himself out of it, and saw from behind the bars in prison that the Democratic way or ideals that are being pushed right now, that progressive way, is not the way that you're going to succeed in life.
It's like you know what the Democratic Party is? It's like a tractor beam.
It's a regime.
Have you ever seen?
There's certain ideals within the party.
Have you ever seen?
Not the entire party.
You've seen The Empire Strikes Back, right? And remember when the Millennium Falcon? Remember when the Millennium Falcon got pulled into the tractor beam and it just could not get out of the? And it was like, we have to do something, right? That's what the Democratic Party is. It has like the money and the entitlements and this, that, and the other. It's like a tractor beam. You can't get out of it.
Jay says conservative minorities are a threat.
Oh my God! You think?
That's why they get
the FBI.
That's why minorities get attacked if they're conservative more than anyone. Because how dare you do that? How dare you have feelings of your own? How dare you have feelings different than ours? But we love Mark Joe. We appreciate it. We'll get him back on the show as well. Hey, that's a great point. We're going to take a quick break.
Drew Collins is like Darth Vader. You will come to the dark side.
Drew is inching over little by little.
It's interesting because
I am your father. Shut up, conservatives.
Glenn from the chat line says, here's the issue. Mark Joe is the antithesis of Drew Collins.
Oh, I know. It is literally Luke Skywalker versus the dark side.
Drew, dark side.
Come on, man.
Hey, I mean, and
you know what? Joe Biden does look kind of like the emperor.
Little bit. He does
a little bit.
That's
horrible.
Let's
go to break. I can't take this.
The latest Joe Biden. We know
Joe Biden. I was gonna say which one?
Joe Biden 3 or Joe Biden 4?
Yeah.
That the Android.
Whichever, it doesn't matter.
He's got that.
Yeah.
And once again, that's a part of what we do, the cancel culture education. If you have any interviews, and I was told by one of our viewers and listeners and supporters, hey, there's this guy, Mark Joe. You got to find out about him.
I'm glad you did.
And I'm like, let's do it. So we found Mark. We talked. It was like, damn straight
We need
up.
more of those.
He has such a great story.
We need to scrape St. Louis for more of those. We need those people. That was the best interview I think we've done on the show.
He's one of the best that you're going to find in the country, and just happens to be in our own backyard.
Well, there's got to be more downtown.
And he just started that shop. So
I hope he becomes a mentor to other children.
Well,
and he may already be, but he would be a fantastic mentor to so many kids in the foster system that started out in his situation.
Yeah, he is like the garlic to Democrats.
Hey, coming up, we're going to talk about another situation. Guess what? Bud Light? Yeah, they tried to cancel themselves. People
That's
said,
funny.
See ya, Bud Light, you're done. Yeah, they got rid of that woman that said, yeah, we're going to go this route now. And we're going to go try to cater to a certain group of people. Yeah, she gone. Budweiser getting their act together. We'll talk about that. Tabitha, we're going to school today, people. Tabitha's going to break down.
Did you see Eric's eyes just open up like, what's going on?
There's some serious crap going on in Sudan. Americans are in problem. And have you ever heard about the Wagner group? We always try to stay one step ahead. The Wagner group, the cog in the wheel when it comes to the whole BRICS situation going on. Tabitha's going to let us know about that. We're going to take a quick break. These are our advertisers, our partners. We'll be back on the other side of the break in just a couple of minutes. Plus, we're going to check in with our friend Kurtis Barks for Complete Auto Body and Repair. By the way, he has a golf tournament coming up. I got us a foursome, guys.
You did?
Yeah. He's going to talk about that. Plus,
I get to bring my 42 handicap, right?
You're going to play. They have bands on the course.
Okay, I'm going to throw the ball.
I can drive.
They literally have bands
carts
at hole.
Nice.
I was like, have you ever heard of that happening anywhere?
I can sit in on every hole.
Anyway,
play
plus
some Stevie Ray Vaughan.
The rest of the day's headlines. Back in just a moment with Cancel This. Pro Joe on the board today. Lizzie Sparks taking care of everything on the chat line. Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel. I'm Vic Faust. Back in just a couple minutes.
And now it's here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collections. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting you to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a typical gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with EXP, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar, Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Hey guys, welcome back in. It's cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Tabitha Hassel. Eric Johnson coming back into studio in just a second. He's getting his coffee. We got Pro Joe on the board. Scotty Gherkin. He's moved on to bigger and better things, but he's still here making sure that the show goes smoothly because that's what Scotty Gherkin is. Just a great, great guy. Thanks for coming back into cancelthisshow.com. It's ironic. The person who set us up with our last guest, Mark Joe, just texted me and said, hey, when's Mark going to be on again? I was like, well, I guess you're not going to be hearing Mark live, but as always, you can go to all of our original content. It's saved right there in our library. We're like day 105 or something now, 105 days of shows. You can check out Mark Joe from omencoffeeco.com, omencoffeeco.com. Of course, you can always go to cancelthisshow.com. You can check us out all the time. Of course, we're live 8 to 10 Central Time right now, but you can catch us all the time. 24/7 and all the shows we have. And that's why it's another opportunity for advertisers. You have perpetual advertising. If you know anybody that needs perpetual advertising, let us know. Those ads are there all the time in the shows as well as those shows go on. Contact us. You can help us. You can subscribe, like, send us those likes, send us donations if you can. Cancelthisshow.com. We are grateful and we appreciate it. Okay, we've got another cancel culture situation. It's what's happened with Bud Light. And it's so bizarre because Bud Light, they have now gotten rid of the woman that they had. She was in well, here's why I say gotten rid.
Here we go.
They got rid of her because they put her on leave. Anheuser-Busch has put the woman who was in charge of the Dylan Mulvaney campaign, who we listened to and showed. Oh, hi guys. Hi, Scotty. It's all good. She's on leave. This is Budweiser's nice way of saying she gone. She's being demoted.
No, you know what? I love what you're doing with this, and I love that they're demoting her to janitor of Anheuser-Busch or whatever it is.
Yeah, they're trying to do it.
Before you go any farther, here's how they should have handled it. Yeah, this idiot numbnut completely destroyed our brand. She's not only fired, but we're going to actually make her clean the septic tank in the back for the next year and a half. And she's on contract, so she has to do it.
Nobody does that, though. This is their polite way.
No, that's what they needed to do.
They had to do. Did you see? There was a tweet going around with I guess he's the CEO of InBev, who looks exactly like a frat boy, which is exactly what they said they don't want to continue to market to, which is why she did this. This is the mentality right now.
You mean the former CIA agent?
That's the one, yes.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Who is the exact opposite of the folks she's marketing to. But this is the problem with woke companies. It's not just InBev.
No, that's it. I guess my point is that in that case, and what you're talking, they're pussyfooting with this stuff. And that's the problem I'm having with it. You're pussy. They should have come out and said, look, we get it. Yes, everybody does. Like our last guest, everybody deserves to be happy. Transgender, this, that, and the other. We understand our clientele is people that go to Daytona, Cardinal fans, people that go to rock concerts. We understand you now. And we got 2 guys coming in to market to you guys directly. The girl that did this is gone, period. Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. They would have played the song Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead from the Wizard of Oz. And then they would have moved on. You would have seen people gradually coming back and saying, okay, all right. They would have had Kid Rock, $1 billion contract saying, all right, these guys fixed themselves. That's what should have happened. They're pussyfooting with this garbage.
But it's what I was trying to say. I hadn't made my point yet. My point is that with all of these woke corporations, the mistake they are all making is they don't understand their base.
Yeah.
They don't understand the people who actually do buy their products.
I think you were saying exactly what I was saying.
And they want to cater to the tiniest portion of our population, which is the very far less than 1% on the very far fringe left. And then what ends up happening is they lose a lot of money. We've seen it happen with Hershey's. We've seen it happen with so many different big corporations, and they will never learn.
I get an opportunity to school you now. I get an opportunity to school you.
Okay.
There's this thing called ESG. Do you know what ESG is?
Yeah. I think you taught us about it. I think
environmental governance, something or other. I don't remember what the other one is. But it basically is a score that these Fortune 500, 100s, 1000s get. And if you get this score, I don't even know what the payoff pitch is to get it. I guess that the wokes don't come after you. You have to do things such as putting interracial people in your commercials. You have to do such things as Transgender Day at Coors Light or at Budweiser. Or you have to do, we only hire a certain amount of doctors at SSM, and 30% of them are going to be minorities or transgender. That's ESG. I think this was Anheuser-Busch's their attempt to get an ESG score. I still don't know what the payoff pitch is to have a high score, but I think this was their attempt. Okay, we got this girl. She doesn't wear any makeup. She looks like whatever. Let's put her in marketing, see if she can not screw this up too bad. Because there are certain...
She might be a great marketer.
Yeah, she is.
She has a great education.
Well, then where was the conversation that somebody said, you're not going to do this?
Maybe she went behind their backs.
I still
don't know.
I still think 100% Bud knew exactly what was going on.
I don't.
They tried to, I know we can agree to disagree. I just think that they tried to sneak one past everybody to see how it would go. Boom, you're losing billions of dollars. Boom, she is taking a leave. That's why I agree with Tabitha, what you were saying. I loved hearing that because you'll never hear from this woman again. She's done. Her marketing career is done.
But
she is going down as the worst advertising executive in the history of the world after what she did.
But it needs to be with fireworks. You need fireworks and you need alligators.
No, they only do that to people who they try to cancel. Like Mark Joe.
I don't want her canceled as in like you can't have a career anymore.
She's been canceled.
But you should go work at some place that likes what you're doing.
Yeah, she'll get, you know what?
She will get a job. They will probably hire her.
The transgender community.
MSNBC is going to make her probably an anchor. But it's not. That's not the place for you.
This is the media's fault.
That's not the place for you.
This is the fault of the media. I know I blame the media for a lot of things. I blame them for this as well, because if you watch mainstream news, they want you to believe that we are the minority and that the far fringe left is the majority. So a lot of these ridiculously woke CEOs or marketing folks, this woman is, these ridiculously woke people, they really do believe, they are brainwashed to believe that they are the majority. So when they make these decisions, they actually think it's going to increase sales because they're the majority of buyers.
Tabitha's preach. And
because it's the media brainwashing that goes on.
Eric, do you remember the conversation I told you about that I had with younger producers in the newsroom? And it wasn't just...
Oh, yeah. It was disgusting.
It was in my last two jobs covering a span of about 15 years.
Right.
What? There's another side? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Like conversations with younger producers. What? And they weren't intentionally trying to hurt anybody. They just didn't have another opposing view to their... What?
Exactly.
I have to listen to that?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, you're a producer and you don't get this? That you actually have to tell at least two sides to the story.
I've never seen a generation so close-minded.
And that's what
because of the media.
What you guys are saying.
They are the media. What are you talking about?
It's because of the media. Because think about this. The only option you have on the media, and I know you guys will love me saying this, is Fox National. And these people are not watching Fox. They're not seeing the alternative. So everywhere they look on the media, every channel they turn is all very woke programming. It's all brainwashing. It's being done with intent. Yeah. They want to brainwash our young people, and that's what they're doing.
Well, Todd Allen is the global marketing vice president of Anheuser-Busch InBev. You're up to the plate, buddy. Take your swing because you're on the clock. Todd Allen.
I hope they fail still. I hope.
I want them to succeed.
I don't. I'll tell you why. I want them to go down in flames so the next time that a Macy's or the next time that a Coors Light or the next time that a Delta or the next time that a Coca-Cola says, get the ESG score, we need that up. They think twice about it. They have a board of directors meeting. They go, do we want to go down and you can even brand that, say, do we want to be Bud Lighted? You can make that an adjective. Do you want to be Bud Lighted? No, we're not doing this ESG crap anymore because our money is too important to our shareholders.
Well, I hope
they go down in flames.
I want InBev to be successful.
Not
I really
me.
do.
It's a European company.
Because they employ so many people in the St. Louis area. So many people have worked for them for generations.
Yeah, so what?
And we need them.
This is a freedom exercise. No, we don't. This is a freedom exercise, Tabitha. This is what I'm talking about.
They employ thousands of people here in St. Louis.
Go get another job. Here's a freedom exercise. This is a freedom exercise.
Where else you're going to go to Milwaukee?
What putting
Colorado
hops and barley in a changer? You can work for the coal industry.
It's so much more than that. They have plumbers and electricians.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, do not listen to Tabitha. Do not ever listen to Tabitha. I'll let you know when you can leave. I can know. I'll let you. But this time you're wrong.
I am definitely not wrong.
You need a seismic event. Listen to me, people. You need a seismic event in corporate America that lets other CEOs go, yeah, this ESG thing might be important, but our money is more important. We're done. Right?
Eric, do you still
You've been Bud Lighted. Tabitha, you've been Bud Lighted.
Bud Lighted. Eric, do you still feel the same way after I tell you that Anheuser-Busch has also now hired 2 executives with a lot of experience in the DC area who are involved in conservative Republican circles for campaigns?
If they come out on camera and say what we did is wrong, and I encourage all other companies to take notice.
Nobody says that they did. They're by them getting rid of her is them saying that they did. That's how you do it in 2023.
You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. You have an opportunity in front of you. You have an opportunity as a country in front of you to say, this experiment failed. I am the face of Anheuser-Busch. We sucked so bad. We invite you to come back. And as a matter of fact, the first case is on us.
Well, they didn't give her. There you go. There you go. Eric,
I should be working for Anheuser-Busch.
Eric, they didn't promote her. Okay. They got rid of her. You just want them to say,
I want them to
she is the worst executive we have ever hired.
I want them to drag her out and make an example of her is what I'm saying. It's like, if you guys hire these people,
I know
they're not, but they're not.
You know
going
what?
to do
Disney's in the same boat. They're just way more aggressive as fighting back. But DeSantis is going to put a state prison miles from.
He has threatened to.
You know, Glenn Thompson reminds us AB is still a big Republican donor.
Yes, they are.
And who knows? Maybe Eric's onto something because Eric is a marketing genius. That's what he does.
That is true.
Here's the thing: the Republicans could use some money when it comes to this 2024 election.
Oh,
That's a good point, Vic.
Maybe they can make it up that way as well. But they did lose an upwards of $8 billion already. And a lot of that takes time. I say that the action against Bud Light, where it's still going to go through. I also talked to a friend who talked to a rep over the weekend who said it sucks for us reps now. Because, it's not just a media story where it hurt us.
It's so much bigger.
That we can't sell what we were selling. It has become that big. Yeah. This story is. And yes, it is a microcosm of what's going on in this country for anybody who wants to say, all you do is talk about transgenders. Yeah. No, it's a microcosm of things being forced upon you, your family, your kids. Because the other part of that story is what Eric brought up and what Tabitha has told us. Last week, you had a senior boy, born a boy, identifying as a girl, go into a shower with 4 freshman girls at high school and walk right into the shower with them, terrifying 14-year-old girls. Yeah. Tabitha said it would happen. I said, if it does, you're going to see an outcry from parents, and the parents are lighting up the superintendent.
And the school can't do a darn thing about it, or they will lose their Title IX funding.
And
the
school said
that's a Biden rule.
The school apologized, said they're not. It will not happen again, is what allegedly is.
So then, what Tabitha just said is that school's going to get sued.
There is they may get sued. They may. You can sue anyone for anything. But the Biden administration, we've talked about it 1,000 times on this show. The Biden administration came out with a new law. I believe it was an executive order that said any public school that receives a government Title IX funding, if they don't allow transgenders to use the bathroom they identify with, the locker room they identify with. If the school doesn't provide accommodations for them, they will lose their Title IX funding. It doesn't mean they won't get sued. And it doesn't mean the school will say, no, we're not going to do this, but they could potentially lose their Title IX funding.
And Eric, there are people, like certain people on this chat line, that think it's all right for a boy who's a senior in high school to go in naked and take a shower with 14-year-old girls. If you think that is fine, that tells us all we need to know about you.
And you know what the shame of all of this is that no, not next week and not next year, not 2 years from now, not 10 years from now, but in 50 years, if it goes unimpeded to the goal, it will be completely okay for a 50-year-old man to walk into a 14-year-old's locker room and basically undress with him and shower with him.
And that's where the line has to be drawn.
That's where the fear of people like myself come in is, hopefully I'm dead, but my grandchildren are going to have to deal with this stuff in a world that spiritually, religiously makes no sense. It completely contradicts everything. It becomes this bizarre secular society that there's no pushback or no feet, that you are criminalized. And that's what's coming. You're criminalized if you discriminate against a 50-year-old man who might be a pedophile. You don't know.
Well, we can't
in the same locker room,
right? Well,
as little kids.
That's where the line has to be drawn.
Okay, I think that's what people are trying to do.
I think
it's what people are trying to do. And then at the end of the day, if you are transgender, we'll meet up at the bar and we'll have fun, and I'll invite you to the parties. But my God, know that there's a difference, and know that there's a common sense conversation that we're having. We're not trying to be mean. We're not trying to be brutal towards anybody, especially me. I am the most socially liberal person you've ever met. Keep your taxes out of my face. But at the same time, if you want to be a transgendered squirrel, knock yourself out. I could care less.
I have a niece that's transgender. I'm not against transgender people. I think people can do whatever they choose to do.
Yeah, if you're a furry,
they choose to do, but it has to draw the line when it comes to children.
Yes.
When it comes to children.
And that's why the Bud Light story is so important.
And it
has legs that run into
And that's why I'm so passionate that a brand that is very testosterone filled, and yes, it's even, what did he call, a frat oriented kind of a thing?
Well, they're trying
fratty. I think that was what she used.
The woman used that term because guess what? That, as Tabitha says, that goes against white boy, frat boy. It's a derogatory.
Yeah,
term.
it goes. It's in the same realm.
Let me tell you something.
Toxic masculinity.
What that woman failed to realize is a lot of fraternities, most fraternities, also do tons of community service.
Yes.
Donate tons of money to people and less fortunate. Because if you haven't been in a fraternity, you don't get it. But it's always easy to rip a white man. It's easy to go out and rip a fraternity when you don't know shit about anything in your life, but you want to attack. You're on the attack. You're on the attack. Some of the best people to listen to are people who went down this socialist, who went down this communist, who went down this ultra progressive path and said, oh man, did I have it wrong? And when they come back, they expose what's going on. And boy, do they take a wrath from the people they used to associate with.
Yeah, what the careful thing is you got to be careful what door you want to go in, because there's sometimes that door shuts forever. You can't come back out of it at all. And this is why it is important. I would keep reiterating this Anheuser-Busch thing. They do need to go out of business. They need to be subjected to some serious apologies, like bended knee kind of stuff, like going to Kid Rock's house, Ted Nugent's house, and saying, you're our demo. We love you. We're sorry. Kid Rock, here's $500 million. As a matter of fact, Kid Rock, we're going to pay for your next tour. All you got to do is don't.
No. I don't get.
Why do you always have to be argumentative on something that's so commonsensical?
I'm not argumentative.
That is the common sense approach.
I'm fighting for the people who are. I know I have a lot of friends who are employed by.
Then they will go work at Guitar Center.
And there are some really good conservative folks who work at. As a matter of fact, the majority of them are conservative.
Then make it a micro
beer.
People
who work at Anheuser-Busch.
Make it St. Louis microbrewery.
I don't want them to lose their job, but I do.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Tab.
I really do hope that Anheuser-Busch, or now it's InBev, makes a big donation to Republican Party, maybe to the Donald Trump,
cancelthisshow.com.
and that would even be better. I really hope that they talk with their money and they do make amends. They fired her. I think that's a really good step. a really good step in the right direction. We can't hold it against them forever.
You know
and
what?
I will tell you what, at Wendy's on Friday night for Vic's party, I heard that one guy bought a Bud Light. And I will tell you that every person in that bar knew exactly who that guy was.
Who?
I'm not telling.
Well, I don't know.
Somebody actually
I was in
came
the bar.
over.
But what's the point of the story?
Because people, it really has changed things. What they did has changed things to the degree where when I used to walk into Wendy's, I used to see a lot of people drinking Bud Light. On Friday night when I was there, somebody actually came over to me and they're like, that guy got a Bud Light. And I'm like, I could care less. It was actually one of Vic's friends.
Was it the owner?
No.
Okay, because as we said to start this show,
and there's nothing
my business
wrong with
partner
ordering
and
a
good
Bud
friend
Light.
who actually helped get this show started is a Jewish liberal man, and he cares about the show more than anybody I know.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
And he drinks Bud, and he doesn't get it. He doesn't get us. I love him, but once again, we agree to disagree. He doesn't get
Liberals don't drink Budweiser, by the way.
Oh, yes, he does.
Well, maybe blue-collar liberals do.
Yes, he does.
Maybe blue-collar liberals.
To me, them firing her is enough for me. I am not going to, not that I drink it anyway, but I'm not going to boycott.
By the way,
Bud products anymore.
Owner of Strategic Air Services, Kevin Malutnik, and contributor to the show on several times, just texted me and said, next up, Elon Musk buys Bud Light. Awesome. Well played, Kevin Malutnik. And we also had an interesting question, Eric. If Anheuser-Busch decided to advertise on canceltheshow.com, then what would you say?
What would I say?
He'd have a Bud Light in his hand right now.
Eric would be drinking Bud Light on set with us.
Hold on.
Stop. Let me think. You just brought up a fantastic non-rhetorical question. Let me try to figure this one out.
In the meantime,
I would, if that was the case, get it, case? If that was the case, thank you. I would probably ask for some kind of a interview with some executive over there and say, why did you decide to put money towards us? Do you think that we can help you out in any way? And if they came on here and say, we wanted to be a conduit to your audience and we wanted to say, we're sorry and we understand what the outrage is about. If we could do that, I'd be like, bring on the money. Bring on the beer. You can go to any Platinum Rock Legends picture from the last 17 years, and on stage has always been 4 buckets of Bud Light, period. I've always loved Bud Light. I like the red, white, and blue, the branding. I loved everything about it. I loved the fact that every time there was a missing man formation flying over a stadium, I thought of Bud Light in the military, and I thought of race cars and blah, 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 blah.
It's always represented
But
America.
now, one of the missing man formation is the damn beer. What beer do we all go to now, right? It is sad. So if they decided to come to us,
what were you drinking at my party the other night? I saw you had a
Coors Light.
Okay.
And usually you drink Bud Light.
Yes. It was disgusting. I didn't want an Appletini. I wanted a beer.
And Budweiser has always been represented America, in my opinion. Oh, and look at how many people drink. I can't stand Busch, but look how many people drink Busch Light. I mean, there's a lot of people. A lot of people.
It's big with the kids. Busch Light and the Twisted Tea. Go figure.
I mean, every time I think of not even Bud Light, Budweiser, I just think of Jack Buck at the ball game with Mike Shannon. Mike Shannon was the big Bud Light guy, I guess. But I think of St. Louis Pride. I think of the VP.
But don't you think of?
I think of the VP Fair and the smell of hot dogs and this. There is something so patriotic. Every time I think of Tabitha Hassel, I think of Bud Light. Patriotism, man. Vic is a little bit more cosmopolitan, but you know what? Tabitha's much more Bud Light patriot. Give me an AR-15 and a Bud, and we're going to make some damage. Come on. Here we go.
I'll take it.
So I'm just saying, I don't want Bud Light to fail just because I want him to fail. I want him to be made an American example of. That's all I'm saying. It's like it's.
And I think they have been. And there's
if somebody knows Anheuser-Busch or a representative, tell them to call us. Tell them, come on, start the comeback right here. We don't charge that much. Be a part.
Vic wants a few cases delivered.
Well, I mean,
let's just get normal again. That's what I think people. Here's every conversation that me and the guests that we had on today. Here's the feeling. When did things become not normal? Let's just get back to normal.
We're never going back there.
In the 80s.
No,
I
will say we lost.
Look at Mark Joe, who we just had on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
CoffeeCo.com.
It's like they want a sense of normal. They want to go buy a house. They want a normal house. They don't want to have a 700 credit score and have to pay another point to subsidize someone that has a 500 credit score.
It's not going to be normal.
That's not normal.
It's not going to be normal.
They want
in
an
your
XL
lifetime.
pipeline that takes our own oil and we export it to other people. That would be normal.
Eric, guess what?
What?
As somebody said in the chat line, and you're our resident marketing guru, marketing genius. You've been doing it for a long time. He said, and to think you guys still think that marketing is about actual sales and bringing revenue in. Marketing now is about the whole image, and it's about pushing ideals on people that are political.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's brainwashing. But marketing's always been brainwashing.
But brainwashing for sales, not brainwashing for ideals.
Well, I could do a whole hour on marketing, branding, and brand awareness, and where you go to put your advertising for different things. Brand awareness is the most money spent. It's usually to make sure that when someone does make that buying decision, that your brand sticks out, and it sticks out when you're looking at that rack of beers. It's like, I don't know which beer is best, but this is the one I always see. That's brand awareness. Marketing is a little bit different. It's kind of more Facebook. It's more, hey, this is great because click here to purchase kind of a deal. It all works hand in hand. And this lady, and I don't know much about it. I'm sure they have many tiered systems over at Budweiser, right? They probably have huge buildings full of like, this is your little project of the day. Make sure your Facebook thing, it works good for the rest of the company. And I'm sure she had a budget. And she says,
I don't think so.
You don't think she had a budget?
I don't think they even knew.
Tabitha.
No, she might be right.
Widely disputed. My opinion is widely disputed.
She might be right, Vic. She might be right.
I really think she took it upon herself because she thought that she was going to be the hero of this situation and do something they would later thank her for, and it backfired.
Well, I think it would have brought their ESG up, like we talked about earlier. I think if it did work, they would have been able to walk the halls with the lobbyists a little bit closer to the liberal progressives, and that would have been a good thing for them.
There ain't no way in hell Bud Light didn't know that was going on.
I don't know about
you
that.
Could be right.
I don't know about that.
Could be right, but it's just my.
It is fun for us to speculate. It's fun for us to speculate.
And I've heard so much talk out there, on different places that they had no idea.
Well, guess what?
We don't know.
Then Budweiser is a suck ass company when it comes to management. If they didn't know that something, was
they
going
all
on,
are.
That cost them about
That
cost them about $8 billion. And then,
growing.
And it was just one can.
And guess what?
Just one can.
If she did something that they didn't know about, she'd be fired like Eric wants her to be fired.
She was fired.
No, let me finish. She's not been fired yet. She was, quote, taking they did it in a polite way.
Well, it's the same thing.
We listened. Yeah, I agree with you. But Eric, they would have said, she's gone.
Yeah.
Instead, they immediately responded with that commercial with Clydesdales. Look at our Clydesdales. There's nothing to see here.
Well, that's damage control.
Exactly. They knew exactly what they were doing.
And you know what's
and I think
ironic?
They showed us by that. Then they replace her immediately with two people. Well, we're going to be nice to her. You're not nice to people that do things that aren't supposed to be done unless there's permission.
I
think that if the CEO should have been more like Gordon Ramsay or like Donald Trump. It was like, man, get to the freaking point. Not only are you
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary.
Not only are you fired, but you're dumb. You're fired. Get out of here. That's just what that's my whole thing is the optics. The optics of the situation demanded the optics of the firing. Does that make sense?
No, it did. It does.
Does that make sense? If the optics mean that the company looks apologetic, we get it. We know we screwed up $8 billion worth of screw up. Let's watch this. Whatever her name is, you're fired. Get out of here. And here's your box. Go.
Hey, by the way, this is cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate everybody joining us Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, but you can catch us all the time on cancelthisshow.com, all of our original content as well. We check in on all kinds of subjects. We let you guys let us know as well what you want. And if there's any interviews that we can do, we jump in as well. One of the things that we pride ourselves in doing, and Tabitha spends a lot of time doing it, is getting into the whole situation of being one step ahead of the stories. And we have a long track record of doing this, almost 3 years long, of getting out in front of stories before they become national stories or international stories. One of those right now, we've talked about BRICS as we've continued to explain what's happening across this country. When Tabitha says, ding, 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 it's like the old Kmart blue light special. When Tabitha rings that bell, it's like when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Well, except for Eric.
When Tabitha Hassel talks, people listen.
About this, they do.
Tabitha said, we need to talk tomorrow. I need my segment here to talk about.
I'll just stand over here. I just want to hear what she says.
Tabitha, the Wagner Group and why they are behind this whole BRICS situation. For people who don't know what's happening right now with BRICS, and you want to explain it?
It's becoming a worldwide situation, actually. If you're not familiar with Wagner Group is a private military company. It is basically a Russian paramilitary group. And what's really interesting is here in the United States, we're trying to designate them a terrorist group now. And they've been around for a very long time, but most people don't know who they are. You're going to know who they are because they're very involved in Sudan. They're trying to supply weapons right now in the war in Sudan, which we can get into why that's
Americans
happening.
are stuck in Sudan.
And there's actually right now, I just saw a breaking news report. We're trying to evacuate some more Americans in Sudan right now. So right now, the Wagner Group, they are a paramilitary group, and there's about 100. It's estimated to be about 100 to 150,000 of them. Some people say there's 500,000 members of Wagner Group. They're not elite trained forces for the most part, but what they do is they recruit out of prisons. So they will go around to different countries, and they used to quietly recruit. Now they're very openly recruiting. They pay their recruits about $4,000 a month, US dollars.
Not bad.
They're in different countries right now, actually placing billboards looking for additional soldiers. And what they're doing right now, they're in Ukraine fighting for Russia against the Ukrainian government.
Damn.
And what's interesting about this is our country, we're going to start saying they're a terror group because they're in Sudan. They've been in Libya. They've been in Syria. When they were in Syria, they were fighting for Russia against ISIS. They are heavily opposed by Sunni terror groups and us, the United States and Ukraine. Imagine that. And that goes to show what side we are on. And what's so interesting about them is what they're doing is they're assisting BRICS in building a military. BRICS wants to build a military that will rival NATO's military. NATO, as we know, it has a very strong military between the United States, Europe, the G7 countries. And so BRICS is trying to put together their own military. And the Wagner Group is going to be a big part of their military operations. What they're doing is they're stockpiling gold. And the Wagner Group is part of that. Think about this. The Wagner Group, being that they're a private organization, they're not recognized by any country as an official company. They don't have to pay taxes. And they're heavily involved in Sudan because guess what Sudan has?
Damn.
They have gold and minerals.
They have gold.
Gold and minerals. And now we hear that BRICS countries, specifically China and Russia, are trying to stockpile gold to guess what? To topple the United States, to make us fall. They are going to back their currency. Well, they already backed the ruble in gold. They're going to back a cryptocurrency in gold. And they are over in Sudan getting involved in the fight over there. They've been there for many years because guess what they're doing? They are running a mining operation to get gold out of Sudan. And why? Because they want the United States to fall. We have to start paying attention to what's going on.
Where are they going to get enough aircraft carriers to compete with NATO?
Well, look at all the countries that are under BRICS now. I mean, and look at all the Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is also planning to join BRICS. Saudi Arabia has aircraft carriers. They have also, in fact, they're over there fighting in Yemen, putting on a good fight with the help of the United States. But if BRICS builds the military they are planning to build to rival NATO, we are in big trouble in this country.
Now, here's the thing. There's no doubt that train is on the track, but the timing of it, that could take a while.
Will it?
I think.
I don't
now,
think
if
so.
all the countries, Eric, who have at least said publicly that they're going away from the U.S. dollar, or we're not going to use the dollar, or are campaigning to go against the U.S. dollar, if they actually all come in together under one united group, which I think is possible, what Tabitha says, yeah, we're trucked.
Yeah.
India is growing at a phenomenal pace. And their currency is growing at a phenomenal pace. Their GDP is growing at a phenomenal pace. And in fact, as we just talked about a couple weeks ago, BRICS GDP is now higher than G7.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
That's huge. That's
there's one dynamic
huge.
you keep that's very interesting. And I hear what you're saying, and I totally defer 1,000,000% to you. But you have to understand, there are dynamics between countries that would have to be developed that I don't see how a China and a Saudi Arabia and even a Russia, for that matter, or any of the nefarious old axis of evil, how they come together and they work civilized together to find out who's dominating this new currency.
Can I remind you of something?
I'm sure.
And I know you know this. Think about this. Russia very much at the hands of the Wagner group. They're in Ukraine. Not only are they fighting the Ukrainians, they're fighting the entire of Europe. Look at all of the weapons that we are sending over there. Look at we're sending tanks, and we have aircraft. We have all of these different things in Ukraine, and Russia is still not only holding their line, but continuing to make progress. And according to the leaked documents that just took place, Russia is definitely winning the invasion in Ukraine. So to me, if Russia can hold their own against everything Europe has to give to Ukraine, I think we have a lot to worry about. And that's not even China being involved. China has over 1 million troops. And they have amazing technology, even though people want to say they don't. I mean, we use all of their technology, and they own all of the rare earth minerals we use to make our weapons.
Yeah, and we explained that situation on the show. And this all coming out, and the stories, we try to be ahead on some of these situations, comes a day before we're told that sleepy, creepy, unaware, stumbling, bumbling Joe Biden is set to announce his campaign is official to remain president.
Even the Democrats don't want him.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And of course, once again, this is why you can't listen to national media or local media when it comes to national topics, because they're not going to tell you the full story.
Let me ask you this.
And it is scary, stupid. It is what is happening right now.
He's doing it on camera, apparently.
He's already told everyone.
It's a canned piece, right? Is he doing it from the same basement that he ran the entire last campaign out of?
God, who knows?
Because it wasn't at the White House. Would that creep you out if we had to go through another campaign?
It won't creep me out. It'll be if he wins, if they cheat again and they put him back in this position, we will never recover. We will be so far down, we will never recover.
Just think what's happened to this country in over 2 years.
Yeah.
Think of where we were 2 years ago. Things are on hyperspeed. All of a sudden, Trump leaves, while the cat's away, the mice will play. And that's exactly
Did you guys see
what's
Trump on
right
Mark
now.
Levine this weekend?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my God. The guy can sit down.
I love Mark Levine.
He is an orator. He can sit down. And I don't think, part of his personality is slamming other people, no doubt. But the guy can sit down and point by point by point break down everything on a masterclass level, maybe better than any president I've ever seen. I've seen Obama could talk, but he talked around issues. Trump talks, but he talks directly at you guys got to go.
Because he's a person.
Watch Mark Levine.
He's a person. He's not a political figure.
Go watch Mark Levine.
He's not trained.
No. And just watch the interview. Levin. Sorry. You will be amazed with the way that because a lot of the stuff that we saw in when he was the president, he was in combat mode almost every time he did an interview. He was literally taking shots. He was having to return fire. This was not one of those interviews. This was basically a very passive conversation, almost like an exit interview. Like, if you guys don't fix this, you're done. And it was almost creepy. It was almost scary, but in a very positive Trumpish kind of way. So I recommend to all you guys, go watch it, find it on YouTube, whatever you have to do, because I think that's. He's the front runner. He's 30 points up over DeSantis right now.
He is.
And not only that, but did you see the latest polling that said even 52% of Democrats do not want Biden to win?
I don't understand that dynamic. I don't get it.
You know what? Because what's going on in our country affects everyone, including Democrats.
If this was Ali Frazier again coming out for round 2 of the second, the second round,
she doesn't know who those people are.
Okay, well,
I do, because I've been working on the movie, the George Foreman movie.
Yeah,
you know who they are now. You know somebody in the
I've seen
world?
a boxing movie about 6 times.
And there's no way. I mean, Biden is more like Leon Spinks. He's not even a Frazier. But if you had basically this next campaign, I don't see how Trump doesn't run over him like a locomotive. I don't get it, but I don't understand the dynamic in the electorate either.
Well, what we need to be talking about, the most important thing we need to be talking about right now is making sure that they don't have the opportunity to cheat again. I know it's not easy. I don't know what we can do about it. We're going to have to start coming up with a plan, because Eric, I am telling you guys, if Biden wins again, if Biden wins again, I don't know what other Democrats might run against him. If he wins again, our country will not survive it. We will not survive
who
it.
would have thought we'd be dealing with what we're dealing now with, facing the reality of the dollar? Biden, the United States, has pushed these countries all together, gave them an opportunity. They see Biden as an absolute joke. They know crap is going on here. All of our guests from other countries say their countries literally make fun of the United States now and who is, quote, leading. Yet you have certain people who think that Joe Biden is actually running the show. And
he's not.
And if they know he's not, they're still fine with it being. They're not stupid enough to really think that this country is going in a good direction. And they'll tell you that
Collins is, by the way.
He's whatever. He's AI. I'm convinced he's not real.
He's not real. He's AI.
He's AI.
Drew, do something to make us know that you're real.
I know Drew is real.
He's a bot. But what?
but I will.
You were on a date with him, didn't you?
I did not. But in a former,
I don't think AI is allowed to say things that dumb. So I don't think.
Well, he used to live down the street from a show I used to have, as a matter of fact, on Russia and other countries back in the day.
He's been right about a lot of the stuff we talk about, though.
God.
I'm sorry, he has.
No, he has.
Tashara.
Okay, anyway,
let's change the subject away from that.
Tim Gardner.
I will tell you what.
He's a genius.
The reason why I brought up the Wagner group today is because if we continue in the same path we're going, we could see the Wagner group here on our very own soil.
Oh, nice.
Fighting our very own military.
Yeah.
Because it's happened in so many other countries. And if we go the way of Venezuela, which we will, we absolutely will, if the Biden regime wins again, we will absolutely be exactly like Venezuela. And there is not a darn thing any of us
Maybe we can
do
meet him
about
at
it.
Vic's next fish fry. Come meet the Wagner group. They're not so bad.
And they're I am telling you, you guys are going to hear more about them, especially when this situation in Sudan. It's this is just the beginning of what's going on in Sudan.
Americans are stuck in Sudan right now. You're going to hear it all over the media today, local, national. You'll see it all over the line. Americans stuck there, and they're stuck because there is a civil war going on.
Well, it's not. It is, but it isn't a civil war.
Explain the details.
What happened in Sudan is back in the day, they had their president was Omar al-Bashir, and when he ran the country, he's was a fairly brutal dictator, some people say. Some people say they really liked him. But what happened is two of his generals staged a coup, and they took over the country. They ousted him, and these two generals are now fighting for power. So it is one what was a former government general and what is now a current current general fighting each other. So there's a civilian group, and then there's the RSF, and then there's the Sudanese army are fighting against each other. And people are getting caught in the crossfire is what's happening. Whenever they had the protests in Sudan, when they ousted al-Bashir, 300,000 Sudanese people died. 300,000. There have already been over 500 that have died now, just in the past 2 weeks, and one American amongst those.
And you're going to hear headlines happening over and over and over.
And it's about gold. They're fighting over gold.
So we wanted you to understand what exactly is happening there. That's why Tabitha did the deep dive on that to get everybody caught up as best as we possibly could.
Isn't it a shame how many countries in this world have been destroyed over power, over fighting for minerals,
from the
money,
beginning of time?
Gold, and it's almost always over gold and oil. Gold and oil.
It's human nature.
It is.
It's what happens.
It's unfortunate.
Which is why we need the aliens to come and save us. It
might be our only hope.
That's my segue.
And apparently they're in Texas.
It's not a Friday, Free for All Paranormal Friday, but we have to, when things happen, we show it to you. Breaking news from Fox News this morning. We've got video. Now, I don't think we can expand the page any larger than what we have, but Eric, the Pentagon, is now releasing video of frame by frame what they call one of the most bizarre unidentified flying objects,
I wish I
or
could see it.
UAPs that you're going to see. Now, the video's playing, or we'll play the video and show it frame by frame and let you take a look at it. But it is coming from
particular event, South Asia, MQ-9, looking at another MQ-9, and what's highlighted there in that red circle is an object that flies through the screen. Unlike the previous one, This one actually shows some really interesting things that everyone thought was truly anomalous to start with.
Okay.
Anomalous.
First of all, it's a high-speed
Like
object
Tabitha's
that's
anomalous.
flying in the field of regard of 2 MQ-9s.
Yeah.
Second, it appears to have this trail behind it.
Okay, that's not good.
Right, which at first blush, you would think that looks like a propulsion trail.
Yeah, that's right.
In reality, if you want to play the first slide, we'll show you what that looks like.
They don't have
in real time,
propulsion.
First video. So we're looking at that. There it goes. Why don't you play it again and then pause it halfway through? Right there. All right, if you might be able to see that trail there behind it.
Yeah.
That's actually not a real trail. That is a sensor artifact. Each one of those little blobs is actually a representation of the object as it's moving through. And later in the video, as the camera slews, that trail actually follows the direction of the camera, not the direction of the object.
Oh, wow.
Because it's actually round.
We
It's a
pulled these
sphere.
apart frame by frame. We were able to demonstrate that that is essentially a readout overlap of the image. It's a shadow image, right? It's not real. Further, if you later follow this all the way to end, it starts to resolve itself into that blob that's in that picture in the top right. And if you squint, it looks like an aircraft because it actually turns out to be an aircraft. Go ahead and put that on. So you'll see the tail sort of pop out there. And so what you're looking at is, this is in the infrared, this is the heat signature off of the engines of a commuter aircraft that happened to be flying in the vicinity of where those 2 MQ-9s were at. Why am I showing you this? So the first one that I showed you, we don't have resolved yet, right? That is an unresolved case we are still studying. This one we can resolve. But this is the kind of data that we have to work with and the type of analysis that we have to do, which can be quite extensive when you have to pull these apart frame by frame. Further, we're now matching all of this with the models of all of those imaging sensors so that I can say, I can recreate this. I can actually show how the sensor is going to respond. All of these sensors don't necessarily respond the way you think they do, especially out in the world and in the field.
Okay, you get an idea. That was very interesting.
And those were, somebody said it looked like a robotic bug. The one that looked like it was a robotic bug was an actual airplane.
Yeah,
that really was an airplane. The other thing is not an airplane. That has no propulsion system. They have no idea. But it's the one that I talked about last week. 52% of the time when somebody reports UFO sighting, that's what they're seeing.
So where did that camera, what camera picked that up?
It was on a jet.
That camera was on a jet?
I believe that's what they said.
Okay.
And they shot one of these down. Remember the week of the Chinese balloon?
So they're toying with us.
They shot one of these down.
They're toying with us, so they know what this is.
Well, they've been shooting them down. Whether they're recovering them or not, I don't know.
So the theory is this from the skeptic on the panel here, is that A, the government knows exactly what this is. This is where our technology of silicone chips came from. We've known about this since 1950, whatever, at Roswell, and they need more money now. So what they're doing is they're basically slipping a little bit of information out there so they can go
I don't think so.
That's one theory.
And Jeannie, the airplane, the plane, the jet did see it.
Okay, so if they did shoot one of these down, like Tabitha
they have
says,
shot many down.
Then the jig is up, the cat is out of the bag. The military already knows about that.
Well, they claim they can't find them. Now, of course, we can't believe what the government says.
They're finding them.
But the government.
One thing about Tabitha is that what is impressive is she can be her own point and counterpoint. If they shot it down, the U.S. military can find the damn thing.
Well,
if they shot it down, they know they can pinpoint this with great accuracy with GPS.
But think about this: we don't know what it is. We don't know what its capabilities
are. But they do. So what
I'm saying is, if they shoot it down, maybe it has some type of defense system where they can't find it.
My question to this guy showing this thing would be: Tabitha Hassel says you guys shot one of these down, and you know exactly what it is. Why are you giving us the dog and pony show of?
I believe they know what it is. I believe they have recovered.
Then why are they giving us the dog and pony show?
Because they're not going to tell us the truth. They will not tell us.
Because why?
Because they don't want us to know, Eric.
They don't want us to know.
You already know why.
Look at Roswell. They claim it never happened. Look at there was an incident in Missouri. I think it was near Cape Girardeau. And they say it never happened, but yet the people who live on this farm
so we're basically,
have given testimony that it did.
Through omission again, the government or whoever this guy was that was showing you this is lying to us for a reason. What's the reason?
I think they all lie to us.
Because why?
Well, first of all, that guy he's a big critic of UFOs, even though he's on this board. He's also a big critic. But I also believe our government is never going to tell us the truth because it would cause mass chaos. But the other part of the equation is they are telling us to some degree the truth. We know more now by government officials, by Pentagon, that we've ever heard before. We have people speaking out that would have never spoken out before. And I think they are telling us. We just had the Pentagon saying there might be a mothership in our galaxy sending down probes. They don't think these are manned.
But just remember, anomalous. Even the quote critic to UFOs said there's no doubt it's anomalous. No answers.
So they had
the guy that is the foremost critic in the country.
That's the problem.
Says it's
so anomalous. Then they didn't shoot anything down.
No, well, they definitely have shot them down. But did you hear whenever the week of the Chinese balloon and they were seeing all of these different objects, did you hear the voice recorder of one of the pilots? And not the one for the balloon, but the one who, when they shot down the object that looked like this.
I remember hearing.
He said it has no propulsion system.
Yes.
He's like, I don't know what it is.
A balloon.
I don't know what it is. But he said it's not a balloon, but I don't know what it is. One of them shattered into glass when they shot it down over Alaska. One of them was this spherical object that they shot down. They said it was metallic and it had no propulsion system. We are shooting these things down. The reason why is because they're afraid that they're going to cause problems with our national security. So they are shooting them down. And you're seeing these things over conflict zones like we always have.
Yeah.
But it's just new that they're starting to shoot them down. And so what we have to start thinking about is, let's say these are probes coming from some mothership. Let's
hope they're probes and that they're not manned
and
with some sort of creature.
Manned.
Because we're killing somebody's family. And they're going to be pissed.
I'm kind of in the camp.
They're going to show up with the mothership. And they're going to pay us back.
Because over all these years, now there are abductions, but think about this. When you have an abduction, they typically put people back in their own bed and they wipe their memory. I mean, they haven't exactly been mean to us. So what's going to happen if we aggravate them? We start shooting. This is the first time we've started shooting them down.
If we aggravate them, don't pick at your scab. It'll get infected.
Yeah. We don't know what we're dealing with. And did you hear what happened to the cows over the weekend?
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Was that something that's extraterrestrial? I mean,
did they jump over the moon?
Such a strange story.
That was good. Come on.
I didn't hear it. Did they jump over the moon?
Yeah, because she's talking about extraterrestrials.
What did they do this time?
There was a dozen cows found. I believe it was in Texas.
Yeah.
And all of these cows, now think about this. It was one cow from different herds. This was not the same herd of cow, not even in the same location.
I need 17 family of cow in my field.
It was like a dozen or so cows that they found with their tongues surgically removed, along with one half of their face, their hide on one
Colorado.
face. And no, it was surgically removed.
No.
And they said it was very precise, the cuts were. But what was interesting, it wasn't like 12 cows on one farm. It was one cow from like 12 different herds of cows. It's very strange. And if it's being investigated, they have no idea why anyone would do this, why it happened. There's no explanation. And wasn't a single drop of blood found at the scene. So they found these cows surgically.
Well, then why'd they die?
With their tongue surgically removed.
You can stay alive with were they dead?
The blood was
there was no blood.
It was somewhere else, Eric.
Apparently, you know how they talk about animals having their blood sucked out?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
There was no blood left, and half of the hide on one side of their face was gone, and their tongues surgically cut. It's a very and people can say, well, it was a cult. It was this, it was that. I mean, but why wouldn't they, if it was a cult, why wouldn't they just kill
chupacabras eat cow tongue?
And from one cow from each herd, from many herds. Whatever happened on many different farms, not just one
It was
farm.
a chupacabra and a Sasquatch having a party.
And allegedly this all happened the same night?
All in the same night.
They do like the cows.
So it was overnight when it was dark.
That's what I'm told.
That bovine blood is good for aliens.
But how strange is that?
That's as bizarre as it gets.
It's in one area. It's in one area. So it could technically be done by a group or people. But why would they?
Maybe it was Skinwalker.
Doesn't it seem to you like maybe it's somebody who's conducting an experiment?
Or a ghost?
Todd says it also happened in Missouri. Say what?
I did not know that.
And when and details, please. Would love to hear that. Because
And it's on the news. Anyone can read the story.
We're making fun because we're scared. So just don't. Just
maybe that's.
Well, I don't want it to happen to me.
We're just making fun of you because we're nervous.
No, Paranormal Friday kind of bled into, no pun intended, into Monday.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you. I'm on fire today.
Yeah, you are jumping over moons and blood.
I need to drink more.
Yeah, they said it happened in Ellsbury.
Come on, man.
No, it is. It's a scary thing. It really is.
It's unexplainable. But I haven't heard yet if there's any footage. Did anyone have cameras? I'm assuming not.
You know what though?
But why is it always the cows? Have you noticed that? It's always the cows.
Yeah,
Leave the cows alone.
Yeah, where are the pigs? Do they do the pigs? Are they
It's probably
monkeys?
the government experimenting how they're going to make more cellular-based meat.
And leaving it out in the middle of a field?
Yeah, and they left the rest of the carcass on the field.
Well, it sucks. But it's like all these stories that we say. Like this one.
How could you do it undetected?
There's no difference.
Leave not a drop of blood at the scene.
There is no difference between cows getting detongued and deblooded and left in a field than why is the Biden administration letting millions of people over the border?
No, you said
you can't get a damn answer on any of these things.
You said it right the first time.
I know. Back to COVID.
Yeah. There it is.
I want answers to these things. Okay. I really do.
Then why don't you bring some damn answers in here? You come up with all
I don't have the answers. I would like
riddle,
to know.
It's like your new nickname is the Riddler.
The Riddler.
Your new nickname is the Riddler. It's like you set up these riddles that we don't know the answers to.
I would
and then
like to know.
You just frustrate us.
I would love to know the answers. And I thought about it all night trying to make sense of it. The only thing I can think of is that somebody was trying to take samples from different herds in that region for some strange reason.
But overnight, when nobody else would know, and somehow, some way, no blood on the ground anywhere.
You know, I mean, that would be very difficult to do.
It's impossible.
It would be very difficult
unless
to
it's done in a supernatural way that we know nothing
Unless
about.
they removed the cow from the farm
and brought the cow back.
And then brought the cow back. And even then it would be difficult. I mean, it's the strangest story. But there have been so many strange stories when it comes to cows.
It's a
like what's with the cow?
It's a Chick-fil-A marketing ploy.
Yeah. it's like why are bands like Rihanna successful? It's like I know they're successful, but I don't know why they're successful because that makes no sense. This world makes no sense to me. It's like I was watching I was asking my girlfriend this weekend, what you want to go see who? Some country star, what's his name? Who does Tennessee whiskey? What's his name? I can't remember. Who cares? And I go, all right, you want to go see this guy? And I was watching YouTube videos. It's so damn boring. And I go, let me show you something. So I brought on Van Halen, the Yes Festival back in 1982. I go, why aren't there bands like this anymore?
Yeah, but Chris Stapleton's good, buddy.
Chris Stapleton's good?
Yeah, that's who sings the song, man.
You had to look it up.
I knew who sang it.
You did?
Yeah.
Why do people buy tickets to that? I'll go down to the Jazz Bistro and watch that.
Yeah, but he's got a great voice.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. I have no idea.
Do you think it's possible that we really carry out this cellular...
You ever see AC/DC for those about to rock tour? Why isn't there tours like that anymore?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
What were you going to say, Tabitha?
I'm wondering if as we carry out this cellular-based meat deal
here we go again.
That maybe, because I believe that aliens are actually future humans that have figured out time travel and they come back to see and that's why they're over conflict zones, because it's like their history class trying to figure out what we did to destroy our country and why they had to move on to some other galaxy.
You know what?
Look, and Pro Joe's agreeing with me that it's possible. Yeah. And so I'm wondering if...
Get George Norrie on the phone. We got to get Tabitha.
I would love to talk to George Norrie. I'm wondering if future humans also use cellular-based meat, so they have to come back every once in a while and get the cells from the cow to go back to their planet or their galaxy.
You lost Eric.
To harvest more cellular-based meat.
Look, Eric's beat down. He can't even lift his head.
Well, but think about it. If you have I'm not a proponent of cellular-based meat.
I agree with you, Tabitha.
But you don't need a farm. You could be on a spaceship.
I'll tell you what.
And grow a cow.
Here's a compromise.
And not need a real cow.
Here's a compromise. This wasn't real food, but if you bring back soy burgers and square pizza from my elementary school days, I know that wasn't real food. Then I'm in, because those little soy burgers were amazing.
Amen, brother.
You know
what I'm talking about?
That's a great way to end the show on this April 24th.
Oh, this over now? Thank God.
School lunch pizza.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
If the kids only knew.
Here, can I do the promo for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Join us Tuesday as Tabitha Hassel comes to the table and tells us what the hell we've been talking about for the last 2 years as she answers all of your questions.
But you know what?
Only on cancelthis.com.
The listeners know more than I do.
Whatever.
Hey, guys, we appreciate you jumping in today. Special thanks with Mark Joe as well for joining us. OmenCoffeeCo.com.
Yes.
OmenCoffeeCo.com. If you guys know of anybody else we should be interviewing, let us know. We'll do our best to get in contact with them and, of course, bring you that original content. Go to cancelthisshow.com. We love it when you do. We appreciate the donations. They help with everything that we've got going on as well. Plus, you can also send us stars. We love it. For Lizzie Sparks, who's taking care of the chat line, we're trying to get her back in studio when we can get that laptop. It's up. We just got to figure that out over there. Pro Joe, Scotty Gherkin's alongside today. Believe it or not, he's making sure everything was going smooth. How did your first day on KSHE go, buddy?
It's today.
Oh, it's today. And people can listen from 2 to 6.
He's excited.
Scotty Gherkin from 2 to 6 today. KSHE 9 to 5. Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel, I'm Vic Faust. Have a great day as always, guys.